All right, time for This Day in History, guys. Already June 7th, we're going to start it way back, 1929. The independent sovereign state of Vatican City is officially known as in existence after ratification of the Lateran Treaty. It created the sovereign 110-acre territory, solidifying the Pope's temporal independence. Today, fun fact, it remains the smallest independent nation in the world by both area and population.
Very cool.
Good trivia for you. Also in 1982, this is kind of cool, the first robotic-assisted artificial heart, the Jarvik 7, was implanted in a human patient designed by Dr. Robert K. Jarvik. It was designed to completely replace a failing human heart rather than merely assist it. The historic operation established a critical milestone in medical history, proving that a mechanical pump could sustain human life. The patient survived for 112 days. And then this is a fun one. Back in 1981, especially if you like video games, the arcade game Donkey Kong was unveiled to the public in Japan. The game became an overnight sensation and pioneered the platforming genre. Donkey Kong, it was one of the first video games to feature a clear narrative presented through cutscenes and multiple unique escalating levels. It introduced the world to a character later known as Mario.
Of course.
Which a lot of people don't know that it was actually in Donkey Kong.
Did you play like the original Donkey Kong?
Not play the original one, but I did love Donkey Kong on Super Nintendo when I was younger. I had all of them. I think there were like 2 or 3 of them, and then yeah, I feel like all the old games were a lot of fun.
Yeah, they were. I do like how, you know, much of the old elements are still incorporated in the new ones. Like I have a Nintendo Switch, and you know, they have a bunch of variations of the different characters, like Donkey Kong's as well. So it continues to be alive and well in the world of Nintendo.
Yeah, you can't get rid of all the
timeless
originals. They're
classic.
fun.
Yes, exactly. All right, Dukes, thank you so much.
Well, coming up next on the morning show, it may be Dairy Month in Wisconsin, but farmers across the state